This is Wobbly Wallaby, and today I'm talking about my daily farming routine on my main account. My Stella Hunter makes 4.2 million raw Zeny a day, and if you want to know how to achieve this, keep watching. I've been making guides for new ROM 2.0 players, and I wanted people to know what the endgame is like for Stellar Hunters when it comes to farming. I love to try out new classes, so I multi-class to a lot of different characters. Even though Dorm is my main for PvE content, I choose to use Stellar Hunter as my main farming class. Why? Stellar Hunters can get a ton of Zeny each day. This is due to the 4th job skill Meteor Fission, which allows you to hit multiple targets at once. Even if you don't use Meteor Fission, using gesture auto attack and killing singular targets can still be quite good. When ROM 2.0 first came out, and the cost of Windflower Bell was over 5,000 Zeny each, I was using single target auto attacks to kill them. My damage wasn't high enough to one-shot 3 at once using Meteor Fission, but it was still very profitable. Stellar Hunters are very flexible in farming, which is why I love using it. Let's look at the attributes first. Try to max out Dex. Then for agility, get this as high as possible so when you use Exceed Break, you can still get the maximum 480% attack speed with just True Sight and your gear. For luck, I use the Tears set, which requires 120 luck to activate the 5% critical damage. You just need to meet the minimum requirements with True Sight and gear on. The rest you can put in Vitality for some survivability. Next is skills. Keep in mind this is my farming build. If you do PvP or the Meteor Pulse one-shot kill build, your skills will be different. I will highlight the key skills I use, and you can reallocate your points away from the skills I don't talk about in detail. We'll start with Archer, Max Vulture's Eye, Elemental Arrow, and Owl's Eye. All great passives to help you do more damage. Then you can put 10 points into Arrow Shower. Next is Hunter, Max Improved Concentration, Blitz Beat, and Beast Mastery. 5 points into Splitting Arrow, 10 into Heavy Arrow, and 1 point into Falcon Assault. The useful one here for farming is Improved Concentration, for more stats and critical damage. Stuff like Blitz Speed and Heavy Arrow is more for killing bosses. Next is Sniper, Max True Sight, Ferocity Awakening, Trump Tamer, and Windwalk. True Sight and Windwalk are the important skills. True Sight gives more attributes, attack, and critical. Windwalk provides you with faster movement speed. For Ranger, Max Warg Rider, Exceed Break, Fear Breeze, Force Focus, and put 1 point into Nature's Protection. The important skill is Exceed Break. This skill is fantastic, but it can kill your attack speed. You can offset this with things that give you agility, or things that can help increase attack speed like foods. For Stellar Hunter, Meteor Fission is what makes Stellar Hunters OP for farming, so max this. Also, max out Unlimited Stars for more penetration percentage and range. You can also put 5 points into Riding Shooting, so you can sit on your wolf and have faster movement speed while auto-attacking. For my auto-attack, I use Prepare for Elite since there's many skills to use. Inside Prepare for Elite I put True Sight, Windwalk, Exceed Break, Meteor Fission, and Unlimited Stars. Then I put on the auto attack and also play dead. Next is Adventure Handbook. Focus on getting attack. Another great unlock is to get the 10% critical damage percentage which you can get from King Porum by crafting 2 cards. These 2 cards are the Steam Goblin card and the Goblin Archer card. Each of these will give you 5% critical damage when you unlock it. Do not buy these from the exchange since you will not get the unlock. Next is the Aesir Monument. The priorities is Elemental Arrow 1 to 3 for more damage, then Exceed Break Mastery for more damage, then get as many of the Dex ones as you can, and also the critical damage percentage ones. And finally, try to get as many attack nodes as possible. For Oracle Mare, I use the Claw for more attack percentage. I was able to get 8% more attack by using a Refined 10 Claw and rolling for this. Next are the important guild prayers and blessings for farming. For prayers, get Combat Blessing as high as possible for more attack. For blessings, max penetration, then attack, and then finally critical damage. Next is Advanced Ruins. For farming, the Precision Sniper Rune for more critical damage is the most beneficial. For the attributes in Advanced Ruins, the Penetration Attack Rune, Destruction Attack Rune, Berserk Attack Rune, and Assault Attack are all good ones to have. Dex buff, Luck buff, and Agility buff also help as well. Next is Gear. For offhand, Hellion's Bracelet is the best. But since this is over 170 million Zeny, using a plus 10 Niles Bracelet is also acceptable as a replacement. For armor, Tar's armor is the best. The Overlord Crab Bow and the Tar's set is my favorite choice, because the attack speed and critical damage is fantastic. For garment, I use the Undershirt since it gives great luck and attack percentage. For boots, I find the Advanced Sack Teddy shoes are great for agility. For accessories, I find the Dogged Servant is great for dex and more damage. I also use the Fading Tear because it provides high attack. This is optional as you can just replace it with any accessory for farming. I don't rely on its chance to give critical damage for farming, but I do like its raw damage. For weapon, the Overlord Crab Bow is the best for damage dealing. Both this and Meteor's armor as a set gives you great attack speed and also critical damage. When it comes to gear priority, making sure you have the weapon and the armor is the most important thing. For head, I use the Gacha for more attack speed and auto attack damage. You can replace this with any attack giving headwear such as Cap Ear Beret or the Chasing Star Flowing, which anyone can get. Headwear is hard to recommend because most of the good ones are gachas, so it comes down to what you can get. For face, Dragon Scale Stripe is my favorite because it gives you more dex. For mouth, if you happen to have Key of the Stars, which you can get from the Advanced Kafka, then you can use this. Sorry to the Destiny Promise folks that you won't get this. If not, the Abyss Whisper for 3% attack is also great. For back, I use One-Eyed Captain for SP purposes. However, a plus 10 Adventure Bag, Devil Wings, Quiver, and Sakura Puppet are also fine alternatives. The plus 10 Adventure Bag requires a gift facility that can refine back items, and this is what I used before I got the One-Eyed Captain. For tail, I used the Guts Wing, which was a gacha. The non-gacha alternative is to replace it with a mechanical tail for 2% attack. Here are my overall stats with just self buffs. I haven't eaten any foods yet. The key things here is to have high attack, high critical, and the maximum attack speed of 480%. For pets, the Baphomet Jr. for critical damage percentage is my recommendation. If you don't have this, the penetration pets are fine too. Here are my general farming tips. Buy a premium, whether it be with real money or paying for it from the exchange, it is definitely worth it. I do buy premiums from the exchange on my alts because you can make that money back, so it's worth the investment of 14 million. If you're on Destiny's Promise, this will only cost you about 6 million. In my videos, if I use a premium, I'll let people know since the increase in drop rate and Zeny is really a big difference, so I don't want to mislead people who don't have it. Each day, you should use music to get an extra 30 minutes of combat time per day. If you have mentees, use the mentee potion to get an extra 60 minutes per day. Some people use group hunting adventure skill to get extra Zeny. You can create a party and put 5 of your slaves in it, then set loot to pick up so they won't get any of your loot. I used to do this, but I'm too lazy to do it now. For these videos, I do not use group hunt 5 like many people do. For people who multi-class, some classes like Blacksmith can sell the quick sell equipment for 24% more Zeny using the overpriced skill, so switch over before selling your equipment. For the Zeny totals in this video, I don't use this trick since I want the numbers to be as accurate to people that don't multi-class. Next are farming spots. For farming spots, I have 2 recommendations. The first is the Aesir spot in Holy Ice Cave. Holy Ice Cave is easy because everything there is weak to wind, so you can use the wind converter to do double damage. You also use the Drainier card on your weapon to do an extra damage to water monsters. For armor, use the Seroma card for 15% extra damage to water monsters. For face, you can buy the Epic Spirit Lightning and refine it to do extra damage when using wind. My favorite place on the map is in the middle. Please be careful with this spot as both MVP and mini spawns on this map, so you may need to monitor your character at certain times to make sure they don't die. After going to red stamina, the raw Zeny earned was 3.6 million. Ice Dragon skills do sell and is worth 2.3 million, but it is unlikely that you can sell all of this that quickly. I also exclude Mystic Frozens from this chart since they don't actually sell very quick at all. The next spot gives you more raw Zeny, but requires you to do more damage. This is where I need to eat Dex B meals and 6 satisfied feasts to ensure I one-shot everything. This is in Holy Grand Underground, which has 3 types of creatures. The first one is Hodrum, which is shadow and large. The other 2 are called Devil's Eye and Red Devil's Eye, which are wind and small. As a result, we use the Earth Converter to do extra damage to the Devil Eyes. For Hodrum, we want to use weapon cards such as the Red Devil's Eye card to deal damage to dark monsters, or the Minor's cards to do more damage because they're large. This is why this map is difficult, because you need to handle 2 different types of elements and types of creatures. Your armored card will be the Archer Skeleton Star card for 5% more attack. If you still have issues one-shotting stuff, put the Greatest General card in your accessories. Once this activates, you get an extra 10% damage, which does help a lot. You do hit so fast that eventually it will activate and stay on. This is the spot that I think is the best on this map. A mini does spawn, so be careful. After going to red stamina, the raw Zeny earned was 4.2 million. Both loot is also sellable. I will farm from both spots during the week so I have sellable materials from both spots. Otherwise, you have a huge backlog of materials you can't dump out fast enough. Here's my exchange log to show you things actually sell, so your daily earnings will be closer to 5 million a day. As you can see, Stellar Hunters have a lot of potential when it comes to farming. Keep following my channel as I release more Stellar Hunter guides to help guide players each step of the way from early to late game. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe.